Hey, what's up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of
Seeking
Seeking
Spirits.
Spirits. So, Nick, tell them what we doing today.
We are doing the post-mortem of our investigation at White Hill Mansion.
And it was a doozy, let us
Oh,
tell ya.
yeah, it was a doozy. So, like last time, we're going to kind of go over a series of questions to kind of bounce off each other and figure out, how we're growing as investigators, what we experienced there, what, the cool moments, the moments we didn't like, all that stuff. So, first of all, again, what was your initial thoughts when we arrived?
My initial thoughts when we arrived was this is so odd because, first of all, you roll up this, long driveway, but there's, a developed, housing community basically, all around it. On either sides of the driveway,
Yeah.
which was weird. But then at the end of the driveway, you see White Hill. It's encased in fencing,
Yeah, they
which
fence it in because probably people try and break
yeah,
in, is my guess.
for sure, which is great. And honestly,
Yeah,
that kind of made me feel a little bit
it
more
did.
safe about it.
100%.
But then to the left,
It's like a full-on house.
yeah, just a full-on house and somebody lives there.
It's the one of the people. What word
Who
am I looking
used to
for?
own it. It was like their great grandson.
Yeah, and he was
And he's
he
like
was like
80.
80 or 90. She said so. He lives right next door, which
Yeah.
is cool. That's really cool.
I don't know why I was expecting it to kind of be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, when these things are built, these big mansions, they are in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere, and then everything
Yeah.
develops around them. So,
That's
but yeah,
very true.
I would say riding up, I was like, oh man, this is dope. Like as
Yeah.
soon as I saw the building, I was like, "Oh, this place looks so haunted."
It does look haunted.
Really?
Literally, you can
Yeah.
tell just from the outside, you're like, this is going to be
It is gonna be too spook for
spooky.
me. So yeah, it was fun. So
Yeah.
that initial rolling up there, we were hyped. We were like, "Let's get this, let's get this." So we went into
Yeah.
the trailer and talked to Dawn. Dawn was awesome.
She was
Shout out Dawn.
so sweet.
She was so cool. We ended up going in and she gave us a pretty quick tour because we were a little behind and we were trying to save some time. But
Yeah.
so when she was going through the tour, the first thing is you were like nerding out.
Yeah. So what?
Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying that's what you were
Listen,
doing.
the house was stunning. I mean, it was a hot
Yeah.
mess. Like,
Well, I mean, it's
of course,
built in the
because
1700s.
right, and they're trying to restore it. Like it's
Yeah.
historical, but it was like the most beautiful hot
Oh
mess.
my gosh, so good.
When I say hot mess, I mean that with love, because
With peace and love.
yeah, with peace and love.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to
Yeah, it's not a
restore.
cheap job either.
Oh, absolutely not. And they're doing it correctly too, because
Yeah.
she was telling us how they had checked for asbestos and
Mhm.
all of that. So they're doing everything really properly, which
Yeah.
it takes a lot of money and a lot of time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there was some really great architectural features
We will.
everywhere.
By the way, we will in that investigation video. If you go back and in this video, we're gonna go ahead and try and put a link to donate to White Hill
Yes.
because they're restoring it and they're doing a great job. They love that place. So with peace and love, if you want to contribute to that, we will have a link down there to help
Yes.
it out. So yeah, like I said, you were kind of nerding out a little bit on the tour, which is cool. Like the guy had a patent on the.
Oh yeah, there was he was he did ceramics
Yeah.
in general, but he had a patent or 3 patents or something like that on a certain tile glazing technique, which I was like, that's really cool.
You were like, oh my god.
Yeah.
All the fireplaces were gnarly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it
The
was cool.
kitchen,
Yeah.
all of it.
It was cool to see because she was saying that it had been through 3 renovations.
Yeah.
And so it was cool to see what was original, what was added in the first one, and then what was added in the second one.
Yeah, all
So
the different visions they had.
yeah, and it was, I mean, just
It was beautiful.
it was
And I'm not the type of
the
person who's
round
like, this
walls.
house was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, this place is cool. This
The
place is really
windows
cool.
were just huge.
Oh
There
my.
was crown molding,
The curved
yeah.
tile in the kitchen.
Oh my gosh, sickening.
So cool.
Yeah.
Like, I would say this is probably definitely the coolest location we've been to thus far as just like looks.
100%.
Like, whoa, amazing. So, and then after the tour, like we went down and we shot the podcast, which hopefully you guys have seen by now.
Mhm.
And it was it was pretty cool. That room we shot in was like open. We had to like we did it in the dark, basically in the dark that one.
Yeah,
We
we
wanted it to
did.
be a little bit spookier because they had like which was cool for effect for everything else, but wasn't really good for our cameras. Is they had like these like fake flame
Like
lights.
flickering
Yeah,
lights,
so
yeah.
they were like flickering quite a bit. So in that investigation and in that podcast, if you see our camera out of focus a little bit, sometimes it's because it's trying to focus on the flickering lights. But
Yeah.
it kind of has like a mood effect to it, which was cool. But so we went kind of dark in there, which
Yeah.
was fun. Um, but after the tour, what were you thinking?
Honestly, after the tour, I was thinking I want to renovate this house.
I'll tell you, you were also thinking, I'm going to poop my pants because
Yes.
you had something happen on the tour and we weren't filming it because she didn't want to be filmed, which is fine, like we said.
Yeah.
So, like, that was interesting to see that, like, you
Yeah.
already had an experience on the tour,
It
which was
was. We
crazy.
were on the second floor going like into the kitchen and she it was where she specifically told us like a lot of things happen here.
Yeah.
It was near the infamous like bathtub.
Mhm.
If you
Yeah.
watch any of the other shows. And she was like, "Yeah, you guys got to put your REM pod right here. There's a lot of action in this hallway." And we were like literally walking through that hallway to get to the kitchen. And I'm like, "Oh my god, something's like literally right behind me."
Yeah.
And for the rest of the
She you
tour,
you genuinely jumped.
I did, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And she was like, "You good?"
Yeah. It was
And I was like, "No, literally, it felt like something was immediate, like up on me, like."
yeah. The rest of the tour, you were had to be sandwiched between her and me. I was
Yeah,
like, go in the middle.
I was like, guys,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be last, and I'm obviously not gonna be
No,
first.
I don't blame you. That was spooky. You startled me a little bit. I was like, "Oh, you okay?"
And I was like, no, I'm unwell.
Yeah. I would say after the tour, I was just like beyond excited.
Oh yeah, the vibes were different,
Yeah, definitely different vibes from Fort Mifflin.
100%. And I think a little bit for me, like I didn't really watch anything on this
Yeah.
before,
Hmm.
so I had no expectation. I think that was probably the best way for me to go into it.
Oh yeah. You probably would have been pretty spooked if you had seen it before.
Yeah, now I gotta go back and like watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I had seen a little bit, but I was also trying to lay a floor while we were watching
Yeah,
that. So
you're too busy. So you constantly got projects going on. So that's tough for you. So I don't even know how you would begin to watch 40-minute episodes of ghost shows. Me, that's all I do. So
and we love to see it.
but yeah. So yeah, after the tour I was just hyped. I was hyped.
Yeah. After the tour, I was just like ready to go, and I was just happy that there was no rain
And then we were
and
inside.
there was like heat.
Yeah.
I was just happy that there was
Oh my gosh. Cuz
heat.
yeah, the last night was cold. Fort Mifflin
Yeah.
was frigid.
Yeah, I'm like honestly, as long as nothing comes home with me,
She did
I
say
don't
like we
I
don't
don't
have
really.
traveling ghosts
Yeah,
here,
she was
so
like, you don't have get like party favors when you leave.
yep, no
So,
parting favors.
which was good. So honestly, I feel like for me, that's what I'm looking for at the end of the tour. I'm not even like thinking about the ghost part. I'm thinking about what are we about to be enduring for 5 hours?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I would rather be scared and warm
True.
than
Would you really? Sorry, keep hitting my mic trying to adjust. Scared and warm, then
than cold and wet.
yeah, I don't want to be cold and wet. That's true. But yeah,
Fort
so
Mifflin was a rough one. It honestly, I think it scarred me.
yeah, we're like anything that's like half outdoors, we're like, nope, we're out.
Yeah.
Nope.
We're gonna have to save that stuff for summer.
Yeah, that's for sure. So initially, what was the spot you were the most scared of?
Initially, I was really scared of the attic. Even though I got scared like poopless on the second floor
Hmm.
while we're just like well, technically that's the third floor.
Yeah, because there's a basement, ground level, second floor,
And
attic.
then yeah, which is like
Yeah,
kind of a third
yeah,
floor
kind
because
of.
it's
Yeah.
not really like an attic.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, the top floor that gave me bad vibes. And then it gave me bad vibes later.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That
I did
was
not like that.
weird. I mean, we can talk about it. It's going to be in there. That
Yeah. Well, listen. That was the most physical response I've had.
yeah, that was
And
kind of weird.
I've had a few physical responses because I hate when people say this. So you can all roll your eyes at me. I don't care.
You can comment idiot down
Yeah,
below.
you can call me an idiot sandwich. I literally don't
Yeah.
care. But like I am very empathic in that I can really like feel energy. It doesn't even have to be of a person. I
Yeah.
mean, like you can just I don't know. So I just like absorb a lot of like whatever's going on around me. It's really hard for me to go out in public when it's like there's a lot of people
Yeah.
because I just feel like it's like,
Draining.
yeah. So that causes me to have a lot of physical responses.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was an ice pick going through my eye. Like just all of the
I
sudden,
remember you couldn't even stand up.
I couldn't stand up. I felt so dizzy. And it was just like this, but, and it was like a migraine.
Hmm.
But it was so localized to a place where I've never had a migraine in my life. It was like here, like in my eye, through my brain. And it
Lobotomized.
straight up. And it felt like somebody was physically pushing on it. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. And Dustin's like, stand up. And I said, I can't.
Yeah, I thought the another weird part about it was then I just said out loud, you cannot touch Lexi.
You do not have
Yeah, you
permission
don't have
to touch
permission
Lexi.
to touch Lexi, and it stopped immediately.
Yes, but to be fair, Nick, and this is something that we've now learned,
Yeah.
you said you can communicate with us in any way. Absolutely not.
I think that's one of the theories people have is that like you can when you're picking up on the presence of spirits that you can feel like how they died.
Yeah.
So I think that might have been like part of that maybe like you
It
picked
for
up on someone getting shot or something like that because up there what they
right.
said could have been a brothel,
They
which weird stuff can happen in those.
oh, for sure. And it they said it could have also been like the servants' quarters
Yeah.
or when they were doing renovations or when they were like running illegal activity,
Oh yeah.
they would have undocumented workers
Up
that
there,
they
yeah.
had to like hide.
Yeah. So could have been a
Um,
lot of things really. That upstairs is just kind of the vibes are
dude,
wild.
I didn't want to be up there.
Well, we didn't spend a ton of time up there because A, you had a pretty bad experience up there,
Mm-hmm.
and B, she kind of gave us the insight that if it's active in the basement, it's most likely not as active in the attic and vice versa. And we got a lot of activity in the basement.
Oh yeah, we
So
did.
let me just touch on going in there. I think I probably had the same feeling that the the attic was going to be the creepiest room.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or the bathtub. My
Yeah.
bathtub thing is like she was telling us like you feel like there's like a web and stuff and like
Mm-hmm.
people like people lay in that bathtub and have trouble getting out of it. And like she went into like that trance in there. So I was like, man, this space is kind of gnarly.
Yeah, that space did give me bad vibes too.
Yeah. There was a couple of areas here that were bad vibes. Now that doesn't mean
Yes.
like
It doesn't
bad time.
no, 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 no.
So
It just means like you can feel the energy is off. I guess I shouldn't call it bad vibes because
yeah.
upstairs was bad vibes.
Yeah. But you could
No,
just it was heavy.
I did also get bad vibes in that bathtub room. I had to sit in Dustin's lap.
Yeah.
I was
And then you got
scared.
the crap scared out of you once or twice in there. And we got some pretty cool voices in there too.
We did, and that was actually we were walking past that when I
Yeah.
got scared on the initial tour.
Yeah.
So definitely a strong energy in
Oh
that
yeah.
one.
Oh yeah. So those were probably the two places I was like, "Oh my goodness." And then I
Yeah.
would say after investigating,
Mhm.
well, my spookiest room would probably be the basement after doing it.
For me, it's like a toss up
It's tough.
because in both places I had super physical responses.
Yeah.
it was scarier, uh, like, for me in the basement because I was scared for myself and for you.
Yeah,
Because I had this like very physical reaction where I said, Nick, we need to leave right now. And
yeah,
the reason I say just for Nick and I and not for Dustin, because Dustin was sitting on the right side of me, Nick was sitting on the left side of me, and I could feel the presence engulfing Nick. And I could feel in the pit of my stomach the energy field coming from that direction. And I was like, I was scared for Nick's
if
safety.
you guys notice in the investigation, there's a point where I don't want to say anything because we're trying to be quiet because we went like lights out and we're trying to listen.
Yeah, and to be clear, I could not see his face.
No, and I was saying like I was like pointing at my stomach because I was getting like this really physical response in my stomach,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like something's gonna happen, but I didn't want to like say anything and like spoil it. And you can also see in that video, I'm like nonstop staring at that back hallway where the tunnel is,
Mm-hmm.
and that door to the left, which they both lead to the same place. But I could just feel it. I could feel
Yeah.
something over there. I could feel it like hovering.
And the thing is like because Nick doesn't ever say anything, and that kind of goes back to like the empathic thing. I could
Yeah,
feel the fear that Nick was not expressing. He was pointing to his stomach like,
I
but
could
I didn't
feel
know
it.
what that meant.
I the thing is also like I'm trying to we're gonna be scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I don't want to say like every time I'm feeling like super sketched out.
But the thing is, this is why it was so scary because we had been in that basement for a total of probably two
Yeah,
hours.
probably like 2.5 hours. That's we
Because
spent most of it down there because it was so active.
it was. And it was a yeah, sorry, Penelope, my
Still
dog is
snoring.
snoring. I think that was last episode that she
Yeah, yeah.
snored. But we're filming multiple episodes on the same day. Spoiler
Oh
alert.
my gosh, logistics.
Yeah. But it was such a strong like get out right now that it was like no. That was spooky.
It was wild. It was like we were dealing with two different spirits because the first spirits we were communicating with
Yeah.
down there were super chill. I didn't feel off
No.
until the end. Then it was like leave.
Yeah, it felt pretty dark, I'm not going to lie about it.
And they say that there's potentially some dark stuff there.
Well, once you know the history of what was going on in that basement.
Oh yeah, you know that like mobsters and stuff are gonna be killing people down
Oh,
there, and
there
that's just a recipe for bad stuff.
yeah. Bad vibes.
Oh yeah,
She also said allegedly maybe some human trafficking through those tunnels that they smuggled alcohol through up
yeah.
and down the Delaware.
They were saying they referred to it as like Shanghaiing people, where you would send them to Shanghai, China.
Oh, yes. She said allegedly. She was
Yeah, we
very
don't know for sure. Like all this stuff
but
is allegedly, pretty much.
well, yeah, but she said that there was a lot of stories because there was tunnels down there and they would smuggle the alcohol up and down the Delaware
Yeah,
River. How? Because it was in the Prohibition.
yeah.
However, where one illegal activity ceases to commence, generally other illegal activities cease to commence.
Yeah.
So they would hypothetically roofie people, like drug people,
Oh
knock
yeah.
people out in the basement, and they would wake up in, she said they would wake up in Shanghai,
Yeah.
get sold into human trafficking.
Yeah, and that basically their only option was to just work.
Yeah, they had to like work for like a militia or
Yeah,
something.
it was crazy. So some dark stuff happened down there. So that's a a recipe for darkness down there.
Yeah.
People have seen like a black mist tornado down there and shit. Like it's
What?
yeah, it's a spooky spot.
It was.
So most memorable moment. It's got to be that, right? I mean, it's
I think it depends on like that was the scariest moment,
yeah,
but for me, I think that the most memorable moment would probably have to have been in the attic where I felt like because that one was a more of like a full body experience for me. I felt
Yeah.
like I was gonna pass out. I like physically was stunned.
Yeah.
And although it felt worse and scarier for that moment in the basement, that was like in the attic. I was like, mm-mm, this ain't for me.
This ain't it, Chief.
Yeah, like I can physically feel it when I'm talking about it.
Yeah, that was spooky.
So you're not allowed to tell them any way that you want to communicate with us, like within
I think
reason.
maybe we just need to specify like they can take energy from our equipment, but not us.
Yeah, and
That's
the
a
thing
big
is,
one.
I don't mind if they like use our energy,
Hmm.
but like dog, I don't want to I
Don't
don't want
hurt
to
me,
feel
please.
that. Please. I don't.
Don't
You
hurt
could just
me.
like say it.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Just give me a little talkie
Yeah.
in the
Just a little talk. That's it.
yeah, just talking to the EVP, please. I do
Touch the REM pod, please. Do not
yeah.
touch my eye hole.
Yeah, straight up. That so I don't know, what was yours though?
I mean,
That yeah.
it's got to be the basement. I mean, that last 5 minutes. Did you can ask Dustin, you can ask Lexi. I don't think I was over that
No. And
until we got home.
Nick, you weren't over that until the next day.
Probably not. Yeah, it
He
was.
was like unwell. And the thing is, like, he wouldn't say it, like, in the minute.
Yeah, because I don't want to be like acknowledging it too much and like
Well,
let it have like power over me. But I was like, that shook me at the end. I got shooketh.
but you know what's interesting though? They say, like, how things feed off of fear.
Hmm.
But the thing is if you, excuse me, so sorry. If you acknowledge it, you kind of take your power back because you're like, yeah, this is scaring me, but I'm not going to leave.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
like, I feel like when you're like too scared to even say something, then they're just like feeding off of it,
Well, I think what I was worried about at first was like,
scaring the shit out of us.
no, I was like, the fact that I was still could feel it in my stomach and we had left for like 30 minutes, I was like, I hope I didn't bring something with me, kind of a thing. But she said that they don't have those kind of spirits there, and I don't think anything did. But
No, we also like, I mean, take this with a grain of salt, what you will, but
mhm.
like, we were wearing protection, okay? Like, that sounds really disgusting.
No, but we were
We had evil eye necklaces
mhm.
on, we have crystals,
Yeah,
like, we're like, you know,
ward off all evil,
yeah. And we're coming with peace and love. And
only peace and love.
we also say, like, thanks for chilling with us, but you
Yeah,
cannot come home with us. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's something we do at every place.
yeah, because you can never be too
You never
safe.
know. But yeah, that shook me. Like I was having trouble packing up
Yeah.
because I was just like so spooked.
And that's the crazy thing is that like Nick had this like crazy profound experience where he was like extremely scared. And the fact that I could literally feel it, and then you see me in the video say, Nick, I was literally scared for your safety.
Yeah.
I was having trouble getting the words out because I was like so overwhelmed. Like I felt my fear,
Hmm.
but I felt your fear. And I
I
felt the energy of
yeah.
whatever was coming in the direction. And it's so funny because Dustin literally says to us, you guys, I was like at peace in that moment. I was jamming out like because
Yeah.
we had
He
just
said it.
had
He
on
felt
music.
alive and it felt electric, is what he said.
Yeah, and he's like, "What?" He's literally was like, "Guys, what's wrong with me?"
Yeah.
But what my when he said that, I was like, my perspective is that's why I wasn't scared for Dustin's safety because I think whatever um was with us, there was two different things in that basement.
Yeah.
One was on the other side, and I think the other one was next to Dustin
Uh,
at that time.
That could have been it. Also, if you think about it, I was really the only person who went back in the tunnels.
Yeah.
So like it could have whatever that bad thing was could have been back there and like spotted me and was like, I'm gonna get that guy.
Well, the tunnels were on that side, and
Yeah.
there was also like two entrances into
Hmm.
the room. So, like, the energy And that's where the staircase is too. So
Yeah.
the energy did feel a lot heavier
Oh yeah.
on that side of the room.
And I also went down there by myself like 2 or 3 times to retrieve cameras, put cameras
Yeah.
down. So I'm wondering if like what that dormant dark energy down there was like. I'm gonna mess with this guy.
Yeah.
He thinks he
Well,
can come down here by himself and set a camera up. Okay, let's see what happens when you come down next time.
that's true.
I think that could have been what it was. I think you're spot on though. I think whatever was the dark energy was over on that side, and then the other
Yeah.
energy was just vibing with Dustin.
Straight up. Because he was like, I felt alive.
I felt electric.
And we were like, are you okay?
It was so good.
It was. He was like, guys, what's
Yeah,
wrong with me? But no, it was super interesting. And the thing is, I want to point out, Nick did, he was unwell until midday next day.
yeah,
And I didn't feel that way. I was just, it was as soon as we got out of the basement, I was
yeah,
okay and it wasn't phasing me. And that's how I know that what I was feeling was like so validated when I was like, I am scared for Nick's safety
yeah.
because once we were out of there, I was like, oh, we're fine.
Dude, something fell in your kitchen that night when I was asleep, woke
Yeah.
me up and scared the crap out of me, and I was like, oh
And
no.
also, I don't know why that fell.
I don't either. I mean, it could have just been anything, but it sure scared me
Yeah.
because I was already on edge and I was asleep. Like I just got to sleep, and like
Yeah.
boom, and it scared the dogs too. And I was like, oh my god,
It
oh,
was like just
oh my god,
one for good measure.
yeah, parting gift.
Yeah. Um,
So, what do you think we've learned from this?
I think going in with no expectations is, well, at least for me,
Mhm.
because I think I had expectations of the first one and
Yeah,
I had no expectations of this one.
it's a good one not to have expectations for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Hmm. I think I think that we learned that we need to make sure we protect ourselves a little bit more,
Yeah,
just a little bit more.
that you're not so, well, you know what
Not so
though?
loose with our words.
I think specifically,
Mhm.
I've done a lot of deep diving into like the energy side of everything and like the spiritual side of stuff with like my crystals and whatever. And like, so I am more aware of like protecting my energy
Yeah.
because also, too, like, this is going to sound really dumb and I'm not trying to be like cocky or whatever, but having a large following on social media, you can kind of like, it's kind of like being in a large crowd sometimes.
Yeah.
Like the energy of things that people say to you can
Mhm.
be a lot. So it's like, that's something I'm like super conscious of is like my own energy field, which might sound like hoity toity. And you can tell me I'm an idiot sandwich. I don't care. It's just like, how I kind of feel about it.
Yeah.
Um,
Comment idiot down below.
yeah, call me an idiot sandwich. Go ahead. But you are just so excited to get in there that
I'm
you're
so
like,
excited.
any way that you want to communicate with us. And I'm like, why are you saying that? They're putting like an ice pick through my brain right now.
Well, also, when it happened, and I said you cannot touch Lexi, you can touch me or Dustin, and then Dustin said I don't know about that, so I said okay, you can touch me.
Yeah, because Dustin said, oh, I'll just be the sacrificial lamb.
So I kind of backtracked for Dustin and said, well, you can do it to me.
And then
That might have been the permission slip.
it was. So, yeah, definitely just being more careful with your
Yeah,
words.
signed, sealed, delivered. The permission slip straight to the dark energy's hand.
Yeah. And because that was directly after I had my physical,
Yeah. So it was like, this is what we
like,
can do, and I was like, do it to me instead. And
yeah,
it
he's
was
like,
like,
forget it.
bet,
It's fine.
bet.
Yeah. They took that one and they ran with it.
They sure did. Okay, so first of all, let's who should do the spooky scale first? Should we make Dustin do it
Yeah,
first?
because last time he went last.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and make Dustin do the first spooky scale. So how many spookies out of 10, Dustin?
Out of 10, we're going 3.5.
3.5
You're messed up for that.
spookies.
Because I mean, I guess it makes sense because when we had like the darkest moment of the night, Dustin's like, I feel alive and electric.
Electricity is running through my veins.
Yeah, he had like the. What was that?
That was Dustin in the moment. He was so
Oh.
hyped. Look. All right, but
I think we're delusional at this
a
point.
little bit, dude. But
Yeah.
I think what we're establishing after 2 postmortem podcasts
Hmm.
is that Dustin has a very harsh scale.
Yeah, he gave the last
He just
place
went,
a 1.
yeah, last place a 1. This a 3.5. So Dustin's pretty harsh on the scale.
Hmm.
Let's. I think I'm gonna go last year.
He said metal.
What's your metal white old mansion?
Honestly, on the spooky scale, I'm gonna give it. I'm flopping between a 6 and a 7 right now, and I'm thinking. Did you just
I no,
shit
that
your
was
pants?
the fridge ice
Oh,
machine just dropped a brick of ice and scared the crap out of us. We literally thought Dustin pooped himself.
yeah. Well, fart scale.
Fart scale of 1 to no. Okay, sorry. You were going 6 and 7.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna give it a 6, and that this is solely based on the fact that like I did have a really scary time, but also I weirdly felt like I was like at home there.
Remember what I've said that about Waverly.
I know, and
I feel like places like this spookily pull you
yeah.
in like this weird,
Well,
odd, comforting way.
don't you think that there's like an energy vortex of some sort where, like, okay, before you look, I'm gonna go off on a little tangent.
Oh God.
Energy cannot be created or destroyed, and nature has to have a balance.
Yeah.
Jeez, that fridge. Anyway, so in my opinion, at every single one of these places,
Hmm.
there's got to be some energetic balance, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's energy there for sure.
I
Whether
think
it's intelligent or not, it's there.
right. So I think that there has to be. I'm not saying that it's always equal as far as like good or bad, but there's always got to be some sort of balance, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the good ones pull you in because they're like, we don't want to be alone here with this.
That could be it. That could definitely be it. I don't know, but it's weird. It's like an odd, like I said that about Waverly. Like I said, it's like a homey feeling. It's like an
Yeah.
odd, like,
But the thing is, I didn't feel that anywhere else. Like, or when
mhm,
we went to Waverly, I didn't really feel that.
that's interesting. I felt it
And
at
I
Waverly,
lived
so
in the same city.
yeah. Hmm. All right, so
Yeah, what's yours? I gotta know.
I think I might surprise you a little bit.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with a 7.
I'm not surprised at all. I knew it was gonna be higher than me because, well, if we're running on the same scale.
Here's what I'm saying. It's scared that moment scared the crap out of me. Without that moment, I might go to like a 5 or a 6.
Yeah.
The place is scary. The place is fun. I love that
Mhm.
place. We're definitely going back.
100%.
Um, but I also want to leave room on the scale for places like Penhurst, places like Waverly that I know are genuinely going to scare the shit out of us.
Yeah. I know that that's why I only gave it a 6
Yeah.
because when we went to Waverly the first time, like, not to get too much into it,
Mhm.
but, like, we were also with so many more
Oh my god.
people.
There was like
There
so
was,
there's
like,
4 floors at Waverly and each floor had a group of people and they
of
would just
20.
rotate you. Like luckily the first night we were by ourselves. So there was only 4 of us. So we were pretty isolated on the floors,
Mhm.
but like you could hear the other groups.
You could.
You could like see them
We
sometimes.
also didn't have any equipment,
Yeah, not I mean just a little bit, but nothing
and
crazy.
I don't think energy-wise, I was, like, as open
Yeah.
or knew like, I didn't know what I didn't know,
Yeah.
right? So I was just scared to even be in the building.
Yeah.
So I
Also,
wasn't looking around for stuff. I was like, Nick's like,
yeah,
Timmy, roll this ball. And I'm like, please don't do that. And then a snake fell out of the
that was
ceiling.
kind of crazy. But I will say too, like you doing 20 different projects at once. I'm pretty sure the spirits were spread pretty thin that night. When you have
Yeah.
that many people in the building, everyone is like anyone and everyone could be talked to, communicated with. So it's like so much going on. So I think places like that, when we go back to them, they're going to be ended up being like the eights and the nines and the tens, because like
Yeah.
those places are gnarly.
I gotta be honest with you. I don't want to go somewhere that's gonna be a 10. I hope I never have to give something a 10. If I give something a 10, I'm scarred. That's my scale.
I'm pretty sure this is my bold predicament, my bold prediction. Penhurst, I think we're going to hit 9 to 10 there.
Yeah.
We haven't booked
I
Penhurst yet, but it's one that's on our radar because it's kind of in striking distance.
yeah, I it's less than 2 hours from
Yeah, we could
my
probably
house.
make that one happen. So hopefully we get there in the next couple of months or something. But that's going to be crazy. Are you ready for that?
I don't know anything about it, but from the very little that you've told me, absolutely not. If Dustin doesn't come, I'm not going. Because the thing
No, I
is
know.
Nick is like, I'm gonna go in this room alone. I'm gonna go do that. And I think, I did get better about like honestly, trigger warning. Ever since dad died, honestly, I just don't even really feel anything like I used to feel things.
Yikes.
Life has toughened me up a bit. So at like I think the initial nerves of going to these places, I'm like, I'm not gonna be like going first or alone or
Alone,
whatever.
yeah.
Um, and then I kind of like got over it. Like Dustin was like, "You're gonna walk down those first." I was like, "Yeah, I don't even care."
Yeah.
I'm like, Take me out."
And I think a wise man once said, "I've become so numb." And that wise man was Chester Bennington.
Rip,
Lincoln Park.
rip.
God,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're getting a little delusional now.
Um,
But yeah,
n-
that was
so, but in that sort of place, I do not want to be alone. If Nick's like, "I'm gonna go do a solo in here," and I'm gonna
no.
be like,
Look.
you can literally not leave me."
Look. I talk a big game. You put me in Penhurst and tell me to go by myself. I'm probably
I
gonna pee
told,
myself.
yeah, and I told, like, even though, like, also, when we were doing the walkthrough of Fort Mifflin, you were like, I'm gonna go in casemate 11, and I might do the Estes method down there. This man was not doing the
No, I
Estes. There
wasn't gonna
was
do it down
no
there.
way.
Now I will say that the Estes method we did, they might not even make the cut. Some of them because they were like,
Yeah.
because we have like I
Oh,
had really bad headphones. We might.
the one from White
Oh,
Hill,
the White Hill one will.
it's going, you guys have probably already seen that. And
Hmm.
even though Nick didn't give anything, like, super specific, the
I was having
reaction.
experiences while it was happening.
Yeah, and it was prevalent to what I
Oh
was
yeah.
asking.
So the first night I bought headphones and they were
Mhm.
awful. I could barely hear in them, let alone
Yeah.
so we went to new headphones the second night, which were a little bit better, but now future
Mhm.
investigations, I bought some really nice headphones that are just like this noise canceling plug into the spirit box. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to do the Estes method more when we get into some crazier places,
I think we also need
but
to grab some more equipment. I
we
mean,
do.
the thing is, you guys, we spent a lot of
We
money
did.
just getting this podcast like up and going.
Oh my god, and then all the investigations
Yeah. The White Hill costs
for the
$450.
5 hour. There is a 7 hour. So I think next
I
time we
think
go, we
we
do the
should
seven
do
hour.
the
It wasn't
7 hour.
available this time,
Mm,
but so next time we'll probably do that one. I think Fort Mifflin. I could be wrong, but I think it was like between $650 or $800,
that was the
and that
most
was
expensive
7 hours
There was
or
another
5.
option to get half the buildings, which I'm not gonna lie, I would actually be okay with that.
At Penhurst, you're talking about, right? Yeah,
Oh,
Penhurst, like the one we want to do in the future. That's like $1,000 for 12 hour or 8 hours, something like that.
I hope you guys didn't hear my stomach just go up.
And then like there's an option since there's so many buildings that you can do half and half.
Mhm.
I think it was, and it was like I don't know a little bit cheaper, but and then Selma was the cheapest one. because it was like the most unknown, and that was like $350 or something like that. And we'll get more into that on the
It
next
was
next
250,
podcast.
I think.
So yeah, it was supposed to be like 350, but he gave us like some type of discount, which was cool.
Sorry, Dustin's like doing stuff over there. You good? Oh,
Okay, but yeah, so it's an expensive hobby.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
make sure that you guys uh
like and
like and
subscribe,
subscribe. And
all of it.
yeah, also, watch hours are really important. At the time of filming this, obviously we're not monetized on YouTube.
Yeah,
We do hope that we will be monetized.
yeah. So we can start feeding some money back into the
Yeah.
beast and get some better equipment. Book some
Yeah.
better places for travel and stuff like that.
And also, it would be really great. I do content creation full time, so it would be a lot to like fit this in and do it full time. But Nick is doing most of the legwork, so as far as like editing and stuff. So if we can make it to where like this is a full time income for Nick, then we will be able to probably get a lot more out. Like
Oh my gosh,
if yeah, and if we can
goals.
maybe move to the same place.
Yeah, hopefully eventually. A lot of the issue here is with the travel and stuff. Oliver's giving me some love, which he doesn't really get. I think he might want a star in the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Honestly,
baby.
Oliver is a 10 on the spooky meter.
He is, dude. I can't even hear if he growls because of these headphones either. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I, yeah. It's expensive, but
it's worth it.
it is worth it, and it's something that's been really interesting for us to do. So I
Yeah.
mean, um yeah, it's going to be interesting to rent out those big places and see what we can do, but let us know where you guys want us to go. Oh, you guys definitely heard Oliver growl there. Oh,
Oh,
bless
and
you.
sneezies.
A little sneezies. Yeah,
Yeah, where you
so
want where you want us to go next? What equipment you think we should invest in next? Because we probably will buy a couple, one or two things before we go to the next place.
we
Hopefully,
need another REM pod for sure. I
I do
actually
really like the
tried to
idea of
order
that.
one and it was sold out on Amazon.
Yeah, I do really like the idea of having multiple REM pods because, like, if you can like set them up in a hallway, you could like
Yeah.
feel like tell where the it's going, the spirits and stuff.
Well,
So
and also we just need more cat balls. Like those are super affordable. So if you're
yeah,
looking for like a budget option
oh
of
yeah,
something that you want to like bring that can give you really like tangible evidence,
yeah,
cat balls were
for
great.
sure, for sure. Get one of the. I want to get the string light one that it like lights up
Oh
along it.
yeah.
Um, there's all. I mean, we're gonna definitely get more full spectrum footage now that we've kind of figured out that
We
scenario. So
rigged
that'll
it
be
up.
cool. We rigged it up. So, but yeah, anything you
Sorry.
guys think we should grab? Let us know in the comments down below. Anywhere you
Yes.
think we should go? Any experiences you've had at White Hill?
Yeah, I'm sure there's people out there that
Oh yeah.
have had a lot.
And let me just tell you, if you haven't been, go to White Hill.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
10 out of 10, I would say
Yeah.
there's a strong chance it'll be on our channel frequently.
Oh yeah, I think that might be like because one of the kind of things I like to think about is like the more and more we go there, the spirits might remember us. We
Yeah.
might get different, more profound experiences. So
Well,
that's
every time you
definitely
go, you're gonna get something different. I mean, of
yeah,
course, we might have like similar things that happen to us,
yeah,
but now we also know, okay, this is what we did that worked there.
exactly, and what not to do and what to do.
Yeah. And it might, next time, it might be super active in the upstairs and
Yeah,
not super active in the basement.
yeah. So
I actually do wonder what you're gonna feel like walking back into that place for the
I'm
first time.
ready. I'd go tomorrow. I'd go tonight.
Same. But we're not in New Jersey,
Yeah, we're
so
nowhere near New Jersey, but
honestly, that was the best time I felt when we left. I felt like I want to go home and watch all of that footage right
yeah,
now. And the other two, I didn't necessarily feel that way. I was just tired.
yeah, true. So, but yeah, shout out to White Hill. Shout
Mhm.
out to Dawn. Dawn, if you want to do like a frequent visitor card, little stamp
Yeah,
thing
can
for
we
us,
get
because we're
like
about to come back a bunch.
yeah, it was super like it was close to the house
Yeah,
and it was like
worth it, 100%.
mhm. So anyway, if you guys want to see more of this, make sure it really means a lot if you
Ton,
can follow us on all the other
all of
platforms.
them.
And My gosh.
Jump scare.
If you guys want to see more of this, because there's only so long we can do this without making money from it. Just saying.
I'm hemorrhaging money. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding. No.
no. Yeah.
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 True.
You know what's scarier than these places?
The money I'm hemorrhaging going to them.
Our bank accounts.
True. No,
Um
we're around anyway. But
yeah, but seriously, if you guys could follow us on all the other platforms.
that's free. Following's free.
Yeah, you don't even we're not asking for money.
No, we just
Please
some
watch
support.
our videos.
I edited for 5 hours yesterday and made a 3-minute intro.
Yeah. So just make sure that you guys are like commenting, liking, share it with your friends.
We appreciate all of it.
Yes, we really do, and we're just excited to see how this channel grows. It's gonna be interesting because we're gonna be like, this is like a 2-month in podcast that we're filming right now.
Yeah.
We have literally 24 subscribers at the time of filming this.
Oh yeah. So maybe when it drops, it'll be interesting to see what we have at that
Yeah.
point. But yeah, at the moment we got 24. We haven't dropped one. We only had one little tiny teaser, and that's it. So we're fresh.
Yes, we are. So yeah, that's really interesting. So thank you guys for all the support so far.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's actually going to be a lot, and I'm excited about it.
I'm excited to see what happens too. Regardless, I'm having fun. So
yeah, samesies. So make sure that you like, comment on this video, let us know all the things y'all already know,
all of them,
and hit that subscribe button. Okay.
comment down below.
Yeah. And that's it for us today, guys. So
that's it. We'll catch you next time.
Yep.
Peace.